What's up, friends? So as you've probably figured out by now, there's never been a better, more profitable time to start an Etsy digital products business and make some serious income. I'm talking income that could change your life, that could change your family's life, and give you some real financial freedom for the future. I've learned a few things over the past 7 years as I've transitioned myself to making a full-time income from my Etsy shop, and I started thinking, what would I do if I were going to start a brand new Etsy digital products business this year from scratch? So that's what I'm going to be talking about today, is the exact step-by-step process that I would use if I was going to be starting my own business this year selling digital products on Etsy. So if that sounds interesting, then just keep watching. Hello friends, welcome back to the channel. So glad you're here. If it's your first time here, I'm Kate. I'm a wife, a mom to 3 awesome kiddos, an Etsy seller and business coach, and I'm here on this channel to help you start and scale your business so that you can spend more time on what's important in life. As I mentioned before, I've been on Etsy for 7 years, and I feel like I've learned a lot along the way in terms of actually growing your shop and being able to make a substantial full-time income from Etsy. In today's video, I'm going to let you in on a few little secrets that I would do if I was going to be starting my own digital products business, and some things that I really feel like will get you started off on a good foot this year if you are starting your business. So let's not wait any longer. Let's hop over to the computer, and I'm going to take you through the first steps that I would do if I were about to get started. Okay, so the first thing I would do is to complete some product and niche research. So I know I want to have a digital product for sure, but I don't know within that yet which kind of digital product would sell well and what I should focus on. So the first thing I'm going to do is come to the Etsy search bar and just start typing in printable and see what starts to come up. So we have printable art, printable wall art, printable planner, Christmas cards, Christmas tags, calendar, gift tags, abstract art. So this is not, obviously a comprehensive list, but this is a good place to start just to get an idea of what types of printable things people are searching for. So let's say I'm going to go with this printable wall art and just see what comes up for that. Now I'm looking for a couple of things here. One, to see how many results come up when I search for that. Of course, this is including ads. And also to see these ones that say popular now with this little yellow tag. I want to just see and kind of get an idea of if there are several kind of bestseller items that are popular now showing up, and it looks like there are. And it does look like there's also a lot of results, obviously. So this is a really popular and pretty saturated keyword phrase, but I'm going to hop over to Sales Samurai. This is where I'm going to go and type this same phrase into my keyword search to see some more detailed information. Okay, so now we can see for the phrase printable wall art that it is searched over 3,000 times a month on Etsy, and the competition is very high. So normally I would say when we're looking for a good keyword phrase, we want to try to find, pretty high search volume with relatively low competition. That can be really hard to do on Etsy because there are a lot of saturated categories. So I would suggest, even though this competition is high, that it is possible to break through even high competition. So I wouldn't let that be a make or break thing. I do like the fact that we have, a couple thousand per month in search volume. So that shows us that the term printable wall art is searched a good bit each month. So now I'm going to come down here and just look at the top 5 listings. So Sales Samurai will show me the top 5 listings. Actually, it'll show me more than that if I want to. I'm going to take a look at maybe the top 5 or 10. These are the top listings that are using the phrase printable wall art, and I can kind of look at them and just see what phrases they're using in their title, what price point these are mostly at, and a lot of different information on it. So you can actually click on this and it'll show you on Etsy what the listing is for. So this is a face line drawing. And what I'm kind of looking for here, I'm just going to scan through the phrases that are used in these titles and see if I'm noticing a pattern at all between these top listings. So I see minimalist art, line art, bathroom art. So now let's go back to our list here. Let's look at the second one. This flamingo print is the second one. So of course, besides our printable keywords, we already assumed that would be in there. We have modern, again, we saw that in the first one. Let's go look at the next. This is an Aquarius constellation print. We can look at the style of this as well, along with what phrases are in the title, but we can kind of see this is sort of going along with the simplistic modern vibe, even though it may not use that in the title, we see that in the style of it. Let's go click on this second page and look at the next 5. Okay, so we can see here without clicking on each one, but we see a lot of this modern boho. We see a couple of different nursery prints. This one says minimal botanical poster, so I've seen a good bit of that botanical as well. We also want to be taking note of the colors we're seeing. So if we click on some of the ones with a little more color, are they bright colors? Are they pastels? Are they muted? And it seems like there's kind of this pastel muted color trend. Let's look at these woodland animals prints. So we can see again some really pretty pastels. This is a French bulldog print, pastels, watercolor. Okay, so it seems like we are seeing a theme within these top listings of minimalist, modern, pastel, and watercolor. Okay, so we're just basically getting an idea of what's selling well within this niche. And so the next thing I'm going to do is go back over to Etsy, and I'm going to be looking through some of the forums and some of the articles that are actually put out on the Etsy community page. This is an article on trends coming up for 2022 and trend predictions for what will be popular this year. So I'm going to come down here and click on full report so I can see the whole thing. So we're looking at marketplace insights, early 2022 trends. So if we're continuing with our wall art printable theme, we're going to look at home and living, and it'll tell us just some things within home and living that are predicted to be popular this year. So one thing would be novel shapes. We're looking at abstract shapes and squiggles. Now I'm going to click back over and see what it's saying down here about cross-category trends, because these are trends that are applicable for any of the categories. So let's see what Etsy is saying about these trends. Etsy's color of the year is emerald green for 2022. So it's always a good idea to have in mind what the color of the year is so that you can be placing that in strategic places in your products. It's also talking about pastels, which we saw in our first glimpse of our trend research, but this is saying that soothing, softer tones offer a sense of calm, and they help balance out stronger statement-making jewel tones like emerald green. So if we're going to be using some emerald green, we can balance that out in our staging, in our merchandising, in your photographs and things like that with some pastels, which work really nicely together. Oh, look at this. It says 2,627% year-on-year increase in searches on Etsy for pastel room decor. That's huge. That's a huge spike in the searches for pastel room decor. So that's going to be really key for us. If we're going with the printable wall art, we're looking for some pastel colors in there for sure. It's also mentioning the abstract shapes again, arches and pyramids, squiggles and scalloped shapes. Okay, so we could continue our research. I would recommend, if you're doing an in-depth study when you're first starting, to look through and read through complete articles like this. But just for the sake of this video, we have a pretty good idea. We're focusing on emerald green, pastels, abstract shapes, and then going back to some of the phrases we saw in our other research on Sales Samurai. We're looking at the terms modern, minimalist, things like that. So I would just continue this product niche and category and style research as much as I need to really get a good understanding of what within my niche, which is the printable wall art, what styles are actually going to be popular and going to sell well. So the next thing I'm going to do after I get an idea of what types of products and styles I want to sell is to create the designs. So there's 2 easy ways to start this, especially if you're a beginner. I want to share with you 2 different resources that you can use that make it really easy to start creating your designs. So the first one is going to be Place It. And of course, I'll have this and the other one linked below if you're interested in trying. But on Place It, you can go and make your designs. They have so many different things. You can really spend forever on here just looking through the logos and the different design templates. They have social media templates. They have mockups. But for the sake of this video, we're going to just focus on the designs here. So I'm going to come to the search and select designs, and then I'm going to type in plant. Now, if you look over here on the left side, you'll see a lot of different filters for types of templates that you can choose. So we're going to choose Art Print Maker and see what comes up with plants for Art Print Maker. So of course, these are all templates that you can use when you are a member of Place It. You can use any of these and edit them to make them your own. I'm not going to go through the whole process of it. I am going to have a video coming up soon where I go through a complete Place It tutorial. So if you're interested in exactly how you could do it from start to finish, I will have a separate video on that. But basically the idea is that you can choose a template that you like, and then you can edit it however you want. So you can switch out the graphic elements of it. You can switch the colors around. You can make it exactly what you want to offer. Now the second option would be to come over to Creative Market, which also is linked below. And Creative Market would be more of like piecing things together. It's not so much just like a template that's ready to go like Place It is. But Creative Market is where you can search for specific graphic elements or fonts that you want. You can purchase them with a commercial license to be able to resell them and then piece it together in whatever, Canva or Photoshop, whatever you use for your graphic designing. So let's just say I want to find some graphics on modern abstract shapes. I'm going to search for that and see what comes up. And a lot of these are bundles of different graphic elements. So you can purchase these, you can see the prices. And let's just say that I wanted to go with something like this. So you can see what's included in this bundle. There's all of these different beautiful abstract shapes in the different muted colors. There's some of those line drawings as well. And I can see over here what the commercial license would cost and extended commercial. So of course, if you're looking at this option, you always want to make sure to get at least the commercial license. You may need the extended commercial. You can always read up about what the different types of licenses include, but you always want to make sure to get the right one for reselling. You can also come down here and see what these elements are compatible with: Adobe Illustrator, Photoshop, Affinity Designer, and other. So each different listing will have certain programs that they are compatible with. You want to make sure that whatever design program you use is listed here. So like I said before, going the Creative Market route is more of, in my opinion, piecing things together. So you would buy some elements like this. You might even buy some fonts that you like and put a phrase on there if you want some text, but you would be piecing your designs together and creating them in Photoshop or Canva or whatever you use to design. You would just need to purchase these all separately with the commercial license, and then you're piecing them together. You also need to make sure you're deciding what file types you're offering to your customers as well as sizes. So the next step after you have created all of your designs is to decide on your mockups. So we're going to go back to Place It for this. You can use Place It or Creative Market. They both offer mockups, but let's just take a look here at what mockups Place It has available. We're going to come to the search and select mockups. Say we want a framed wall art mockup. Okay, so you'll see where it says upload your image. This is what the mockup looks like. You would use a mockup to put your image on, so you have to kind of imagine a little bit what your design that you just created would look like in a mockup like this. So some of these are more stylized, some have a model in them, some are a little more plain just on a white wall. So it really depends on what type of style you like for your photographs. And of course, I would recommend before deciding to go on Etsy and look at what's selling well. Again, take some clues from what is already being successful in this niche and look at the style of photography that those sellers are using. But this will give you a good idea of what Place It offers in terms of mockups. And then if we go back over to Creative Market, we can type in styled frame mockup and see what comes up for this. So this is an idea of what Creative Market offers. There's different styles, of course. There are bundles, so you can get just one or you can get a whole bundle of different sizes that work together. The options really are limitless with this. So it just depends what style you're going for and how much you have in your budget to purchase these mockups with. Of course, if you are into photography, you can always eventually create your own, but mockups are just a great way, especially for beginners, to start. You can literally just purchase a mockup and then upload your design to the picture. So I hope this is helpful for you so far. We still have a couple more steps to go, but if you're getting value out of this video, would you give it a big thumbs up for me and subscribe to the channel if you're not already? Now, step number 6 is to repeat the previous steps of creating your designs and putting them on the right mockups according to upcoming holidays and seasons. I always recommend to have a mixture of both evergreen products that are good for year-round and also gifting and seasonal related items that are good for certain holidays or good for upcoming seasons. Step number 7 is to build your shop, upload your listings, and get everything ready to launch. Now, I have so much more to say on this. It feels a little bit wrong just like flying through this step because basically my whole channel is about how to build your shop and how to grow it for consistent sales. So if you're interested in more tips on that, I'm not going to do a ton today because it's not the purpose of this video, but I do have a whole Etsy playlist if you're interested. And I also have a free Etsy success guide that you're more than welcome to download. It has a whole bullet point list of things that I would recommend you do if you're first starting your Etsy shop or trying to grow to consistent sales, to make sure that you're focusing on the right things that are going to help you get there. I'll have the link posted down below if you're interested in that free download. Well, that's all I have for you today, friends. Hopefully this video was helpful for you in getting started off on the right foot with your new shop. Don't forget I have both Place It and Creative Market linked down below if you're interested in trying either of those resources, as well as that free Etsy success guide. And if you're interested in learning some specific tips for growing your social media presence and audience in order to drive some external traffic over to Etsy, then just click or tap the square on the screen right now and it'll take you to my dedicated video all about social media marketing and growing your audience. Bye, friends.